Hello, this is Pastor Manning bringing you the Beacon of Hope podcast from Lighthouse Baptist Church. We are in a series called the 3:16s of the New Testament, and today we come to Romans chapter 3 and verse 16. This is a very succinct and sobering verse. It says this: destruction and misery are in their ways. The context of this verse in Romans chapter 3 is dealing with the natural state of mankind, what we are like as a depraved and a fallen people. It mentions such things as the condition of our speech, the way we carry on, and the things that happen. And it comes to that verse and says destruction and misery are in their ways. That's what we can leave behind because of our natural man. We have that capacity. All of us have a capacity to hurt, to injure, to wrong, to damage others. And it's a sad thing. We see it in life. Way too often we've participated in it. But when I looked at that verse and I thought, my goodness, it's a lot of sobriety and a lot of woe, if you will, packed into one verse. I got to thinking what a difference it makes because of the second birth and walking with the Lord. You know, destruction and misery are in their paths is certainly what our natural state is, but that's not where we end up because of our relationship to the Lord. I got to thinking about Psalm 23 and what a blessing that is. And in the 6th verse of Psalm 23, it says, for those who have the Lord as their shepherd and who know his leading, it makes a statement, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me, all the days of my life, and I would dwell in the house of the Lord forever. You think about the contrast between destruction and misery are in their paths, that natural condition, that condition that so many people make a choice to stay in, and the fact that goodness and mercy can follow us. Well, I'd much rather leave behind goodness and mercy than to leave behind destruction and misery. And then I thought of another passage. And this is in Proverbs chapter 3. And it speaks of those who follow wisdom and who seek after wisdom, godly wisdom. And those who do that, and it makes a statement. It says her ways, and the her there is wisdom. Her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. What a contrast between destruction and misery are in their ways and having goodness and mercy to follow us, or having her ways are ways of pleasantness and all her paths are peace. God has not only a different destination for us than what we were originally headed towards, but he also has a different pathway, both in what we follow and in what we leave behind. The way of God's a good way. Why is it that we, especially who are saved and know the Lord, why would we ever choose to adopt the way of the flesh, the way of the world, the way of destruction? Why would we follow their habits? Why would we adopt their fashions? Why would we be guided by their counsel? Why would we even look at what they reach as conclusions and think that it has any manner of wisdom to it? Our God has something so much better for us, so much higher for us. I believe that the most simple child of God who trusts and obeys the Lord has more innate wisdom, greater riches, and a brighter future than anything this world can offer. Destruction and misery are in their paths. I keenly feel within myself the remembrance of that being true. But there's an old song that says, then Jesus came. The tempter's power was broken. And thank God that's what happened. A new path, a new future, and a new history to leave behind. A heritage in the Lord. As the book of Psalms says, Selah, think on these things.